good morning.
Good morning again.
My name is Leah Van Winkle. I am here to offer the latest installment of the Senior Wellness Series, the ongoing program we've been hosting for the past 8 months. Today's topic will be fraud prevention with a local officer. So he'll be coming in the second half of the program to talk all about subjects around that. So for me, in thinking about how to make a yoga practice relevant to fraud prevention, I thought we would talk about just finding a sense of security in our own bodies, of personal safety and well-being. And in yoga, that theme often comes up when we talk about the root chakra. So in yoga, there's this whole system of the energy body that includes the chakras. So that first chakra is the lower body, and it really represents being grounded to the earth, like steady in our foundation, just really everything to do with cultivating that sense of personal security and safety and well-being. So today we'll focus on some poses that really bring us into that lower half of our body to find that sense of sturdiness. So let's find a nice tall seat, bringing the feet about hips-width distance apart, and try to find a way to stack the knees over the ankles. If your legs are very long, that might not work out so well, but just finding that roughly. From here, allow the eyes to close as you come to sit up tall. And then imagine you're zipping up a tight pair of pants, sort of zipping up the front of the belly. Take a few little rolls through the shoulders, broadening the collarbone, relaxing the shoulders away from the ears, settling the shoulders into the back pockets, and then reaching through the crown of the head, lengthening the back of the neck. So you're finding a little bit of engagement and toning through the core of your body to support your seated posture. Now with eyes closed, just take a few moments to notice where your awareness goes, what there is to notice. Feeling into physical sensation present in your body. Noticing any thoughts or feelings you're arriving with today. Allow the breath to deepen. Breathing in a way that begins to create space in the body. With each inhale, maybe feeling the rib cage lift a little further from the pelvis. With each exhale, inviting tension to relax. Inhaling to expand the torso in all directions. Exhaling to release unnecessary tension. And then maintaining this steady rhythm of breath, draw your awareness down into the feet. Feel both feet root against the earth beneath you. Support it, connect it through each point of contact with the ground. Beginning to focus more on the exhale, allow the exhale to lengthen. With each exhale, feel your feet ground a little more completely against the earth. Perhaps drawing awareness also to each point of contact with the chair under your seat. And again, with each exhale, allowing those points of contact to grow a little heavier, more grounded. Scanning through the lower body, feeling the strength of your legs. Letting your tailbone get a little heavier. Allowing the whole lower body to ground, trusting the support of the earth beneath you. Now Now letting that exhale continue to represent grounding and support, turn your focus to each inhale. With each inhale, I'm beginning to cultivate a sense of personal security, safety, well-being, drawing from that support of the earth. Noticing any energetic qualities of cultivating this intention. Maybe noticing a sense of calm or ease coming over the body. We'll breathe here for a few more moments, grounded in the support of the earth, cultivating the safety and security that comes from that connection. As your next inhale comes, gently sweep the arms out to the sides with the palms face up. Bringing the arms up and overhead, reach long through the sides of the waist. As your next exhale comes, bring the left wrist around the right hand. Bend over to the left, lengthening the whole right side of the body. Reach long through fingertips, breathing into the space between each rib. One more moment here. Feeling your feet against the ground, even as you reach tall. Inhale to come back up. And then exhale to the other side. Gently pulling that wrist as you lengthen the side body. Inhale to come back up. And then exhale, bring the hands out to about 10 and 2 o'clock with the palms facing forward. Take just a moment to reach broad through the fingertips. And then exhale, draw the arms into their sockets, almost like you were hugging the shoulder blades toward the spine, but without actually pinching the shoulder blades together. From there, we'll bend the elbows, interlace the hands, and drop them behind the head, bringing the thumbs to sort of cup right at the base of the skull. From here, using the heels of the palms, gently traction the head upward, like you're lengthening the back of the neck. Zip up the front of the belly as you lengthen the sides of the waist. And then let the head fall back into the hands as you broaden the elbows, keeping the back of the neck long. Take a deep breath into the center of the chest, broadening the elbows as much as you'd like to find a gentle back bend, supporting the head gently. Take just a moment here, breathing into the upper body, even as the feet stay firmly rooted against the mat or the ground. Inhale to come back up, extending the arms overhead. And then exhale the hands down to the knee as you round the back forward, tucking the chin to the chest. From here, draw in through the pit of the belly, and then press out from the space between the shoulder blades. Finding a nice deep stretch in the back, in the upper back, in the back of the neck. Take a few moments there, breathing into that space between the shoulder blades. Continuing to almost lift the rib cage away from the pelvis as you draw in through the belly button. Then as your next inhale comes, bracing the hands against the knees, inhale to open the collarbone wide and find a gentle back bend. Maybe letting the head fall back just slightly. Take a few moments there, rolling the shoulders back as you open the front of the chest. And then once again, exhale to round forward, drawing in through the belly button as you press out from the shoulders. One more time, inhaling forward. And then this time as you exhale, begin to fold forward, bringing the belly toward the thighs and letting the back round, letting the head hang heavy. If it would feel more interesting for your body, you can even stand up and take a standing forward fold. Your choice. Take a few moments there, shaking the head yes and no, maybe wagging the tail from side to side, allowing any tension to ease from the back. Bringing your awareness back to that feeling of your feet connected to the ground, safe and secure in your own body. One more moment here. And then if you're standing up, you can very carefully, with control, set the hips back down. Otherwise, just inhale and make your way back up to a seated position. Allow the eyes to close there for just a moment. Feeling the weight of your hands against the legs. The contact with the chair, with the ground. From here, as you feel ready, we'll make our way up to a standing position. Standing with control. From here, we'll inhale the arms out in front of us with the palms facing down. And so this is our first option. If it feels like this might challenge your balance, then hold tight and I'll present a second option. But first option is to take a deep breath in, growing tall. And then exhale to connect to the feet as you bend the knees. Like you're gonna sit back down into your chair, but you're just squatting. Going as low down as you'd like, and then inhaling back up. If that feels challenging for the balance, the other option is to do that same thing, but grabbing hold of the back of the chair and then just squatting from there. So just making that choice for yourself. So we'll do that a few times, taking a deep breath in to grow tall. And then exhaling, bringing your awareness to your feet as you bend the knees, squatting back. Inhale back up. A couple more times just like that. Feeling what muscles of the legs engage as you lower. Feeling that steady base of support of the feet. 2 more times, exhaling to lower. And then exhale, let the arms come down by the sides, allowing the eyes to close or keeping the gaze soft down toward the ground if that's better for your balance. Taking just another moment there to feel your feet against the ground, standing tall in a line. From here, we'll come around to the back of our chair. And bringing the left hand to the chair. You might need to spread out a little, but just wait and see. From here, let's start facing the chair. And then we'll step the left leg back a few steps. And then spin the right toes toward the right. So the right toes face the back of the room. So Denise, yeah, exactly. Okay, let's start that over. So switch legs, Denise. So your right leg steps forward, switch legs.
Okay.
Perfect, there you go. So then your left hand is against the chair, supporting you there. Take a deep breath in, zipping up the front of the belly, growing tall through the crown of the head. And then with your awareness in your feet, exhale, begin to gently bend to the front knee. Keeping both feet rooted. Inhale, straighten that leg once again, lengthening through the crown of the head. And then exhale, gently bend to that front knee. We'll take a few rounds just like that. If you'd like, if you feel stable and balanced, you can inhale the arms up as you straighten the leg. Or maybe just one arm up if you'd like to keep your hand on the chair. And then exhale as you bend the knee, bringing the hands down in front of the chest. Again, using the support of the chair as needed. Inhaling to straighten a couple more times. Exhaling the hands down as you bend to the front knee. One more time, inhaling the arms up. And then exhale the hands down in front of the chest. This time holding that position, keeping that front knee bent. Feeling both feet connected to the ground, the strength in your legs. Stable and secure in the support of your lower body. One more moment here, finding that strength. And then inhale, straighten the front leg, let the arms relax. And come back to stand behind your chair. Take a moment there, letting the eyes close, feeling your feet rest against the ground. Now as you feel ready, we'll step the right foot several feet over to the right. So if you're facing your chair, yeah. And then spin your left toes toward the left. Now walk your right toes in a few inches as well, bringing your hand to the back of the chair as needed. From here with that front leg straight, we'll take a deep breath in, growing tall through the crown of the head. And then we'll exhale to bend to that front knee, stacking knee over ankle. Inhale to straighten that leg. Exhale to bend. Maybe beginning to bring the arms into it. Inhaling the arms up as you straighten the front leg. Exhaling the hands down in front of the chest as you bend the knee. Taking a few rounds at your own pace. Feeling that strength in your legs. And the steady support of the feet, making contact with the earth. Building strength and stability, security in your own body. A couple more rounds like that. And then the next time you find yourself lunging into the front knee, pause there, using the chair for support as needed. Take just a moment there, feeling that strength in the legs. And then inhale, the front leg straightens. Stepping back to face the back of your chair. Feel your feet ground against the earth. Taking just one last moment. Steady, deep breath. From here, as you feel ready, we'll once again bring the left hand to the back of the chair, this time facing to your right. From here, we'll ground the right foot firmly into the earth. Then we'll inhale to lift the left leg. Maybe the right hand comes down to support that leg. Now maybe you pause here if this feels like enough effort for your body. Maybe you even paused a little closer to the earth, and that's fine too. Or we'll take the right hand outside of the left knee and just begin to gently twist toward the left, opening the collarbone wide. Now if it feels accessible, you can even press the hand out, or the knee out against the hand as you zip up the front of the belly. Just bringing a little more stability and strengthening to the hips and legs. Holding here for just another moment in whatever position you find yourself in. And then maybe for just 1 second, you bring the hand to the hip and hover that leg. Exhale, set that leg down, shaking it out as needed. From here, we'll come around to our other side, bringing the right hand to the back of the chair. And then feeling the left foot firmly ground down into the earth. We'll inhale the right knee up, maybe cupping the back of the thigh with the left hand, or maybe the leg doesn't really lift at all and the toes stay down on the ground. Just figure out what's comfortable for your body. From there, if it does feel comfortable, you can bring the left hand outside of the right knee, and then just begin to twist slightly, opening the collarbone toward the right. Maybe from there, pressing that front knee out against the hand as you zip up the front of the belly, bringing a little more stability, strength to the pose. One more moment there. And then maybe for just a moment, you inhale the shoulders forward, bringing the left hand to the hip and hover that knee. Feeling the muscles of the legs engage, strong and steady there. Exhale, set that back down, shaking it out as needed. From here, we'll come back to our chair. Again, planting the feet down against the earth, letting the spine grow long with the eyes closed. Feeling back into your body. Noticing any lingering effects of that effort. And then as you feel ready, we'll maybe attempting this without your hands first. We'll lift the left knee and try to bring the left ankle across the right thigh. If you need to help it along with your hands, you can do so, but just experiment with doing it with just your muscles. From here, we'll flex that left foot, drawing the toes back toward the shin, and then bringing the left hand to the knee, gently press that knee away from you. Zip up the front of the belly as you lengthen through the spine. And then exhale, begin to hinge slightly forward. You feel the right level of stretch. You'll be noticing that happening in the outer hip or anywhere else in your body. We'll take a few moments there, lengthening through the crown of the head and exhaling to deepen the fold forward. As you feel satisfied, inhale to come back up. And then we'll exhale and we'll twist over to the left, maybe letting the knee cross a little more completely over the other. Bringing the hand outside of the knee, and the left arm to the back of the chair or anywhere else that makes sense for your body. Broadening the collarbone. Inhale, unwind. Uncrossing the legs. Bringing the bottoms of both feet back to the ground for just another moment. Maybe feeling any sense of opening or lengthening in that outer hip. And then we'll inhale and we'll lift the right knee, maybe crossing the ankle over with or without the support of the hands. Flexing that right foot, drawing the toes strongly toward the shin, and then the right hand gently presses the knee away. Take a deep breath in, growing tall through the spine. And then exhale, hinging forward as far as you'd like. Perhaps allowing the eyes to close. Just feeling into your lower body. Noticing what happens where you feel what. One more moment here. come back up. And then maybe keeping the knee where it is or crossing the leg a little more completely. We'll exhale and we'll twist over to the right. Finding anywhere that's comfortable for your hands to rest. Broadening the collarbone, breathing in to lengthen the spine. Inhale, unwind. And then exhale, bring the bottom of both feet back to the mat, ground. Take just a moment there to again feel your hands against your thighs. Each point of contact with the chair, with the ground. Feeling that base of support that your lower body offers. Stable and secure. Safe in your body through the strength and the connection to the earth. We'll take just a few more deep breaths here. As you feel ready, if you feel so moved, inhale the hands to the front of the heart. And exhale, perhaps bowing gently forward to abide in a moment of quiet gratitude for our shared practice. Namaste. Thank you. Thank you for joining me this morning. There are other ways to find me around town. I teach at the First Christian Church over on Lancaster in Maine on Mondays and Wednesdays at 5:15. I also teach at Body, Mind, and Soul down in Berea, right behind Berea Coffee and Tea on College Square. That's on Tuesday mornings at 9 and on Thursday evenings at 7. The first one's more of a strengthening class, the other one's more of a relaxing class. So find me any of those places and I will see you here next month. First Christian Church, right on Lancaster in Maine, just across the street. Like almost exactly across the street from here.
Okay, the big church.
The big church right on the corner. And you
Unit
can
house.
go in through the back door. The class is downstairs, in through the back door. So at the bottom of the parking lot. So thank you very much. Next up we have Officer Stotts. He will be coming in to talk all about preventing fraud. My pleasure. See you next month. Enjoy the eclipse.
All right.
Mhm.
Yeah, next Monday.
Next Monday.
What time?
I think it happens at 2:30.
It's about 1 to 4, but the peak will be 2:30.
Cool.
Yep.
Okay, see y'all.
Okay.
All right.
Is Officer Stotts here?
Yeah, he is.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
How are you?
we're ready.
Very good, thank you. Morning.
Good morning.
How are y'all?
How are you?
How are you?
Doing fine, thank you. Y'all limber now.
Yeah, you should have joined us.
I'd hurt myself. So, can't bend like that and everything. So, especially in all this stuff. So my name is Michael Stotts, and as you can tell, I'm a deputy with the Madison County Sheriff's Office. Been with the Sheriff's Office a couple of years now. Actually, in September, it'll be year number 2. And before that, I was a Kentucky State Trooper for 20 years. My last 5 years, I worked my first 15 years, I worked Richmond Post and worked Estill, Lee, and Owsley County, and then my last 5 years I was on Governor Beshear's security details, so went to Frankfurt every day in there. So I retired in 2015, and then got hired on the Sheriff's Office in 2015. I'm gonna sit down since there's just a few of us. Got hired on the Sheriff's Office in 2015, and from there I've been doing their public and media relations, as well as if there's any hiring that needs to be done, I do the paperwork on the hiring, and sign people up for training and all that stuff. So anything they really want me to do, I'll do, so. But anyway, guess we're gonna talk about scams and ID theft. Hopefully y'all never been a victim of a scam, and hopefully you've never been a victim of ID theft, but it's very common. It's every day that we get calls of scams. And then, you know, and a lot of times our scams involve our seniors. They're targeting our seniors. So why are they targeting our seniors? Well, a lot of times, they don't know. They may get confused. They try to make, these people call in and try to make you make a rash decision right there and tell you, you have to have it done, you've got to do this right now. And they don't sit around and think about it. And that's just not our seniors. They do that, you know, that's for anybody. You know, anybody that they may target, they may call and say, we got to do this right now, and you make a rash decision. Give them a credit card number, or many of these scams require you or ask you to go down to the Walmart and get one of those green dot cards or whatever they are, and to get that money or transfer money somewhere. And so that's part of it. Another aspect of it is, at many times, not saying that you guys, gals rather, maybe get easily confused when they're presented these things. A lot of times they use threats. Has anybody heard of any of these scams? They're on this paper, and we're going to go over several of those here in a minute. And a lot of them use threats. You know, one in particular, the IRS scam, which we'll go over. They use threats. There's a jury duty scam where they use a threat, you know, and other things like that. So, you know, if you don't know, somebody may not call back and say, have the mindset that I need to call the sheriff's office and see if this is legit. That I need to call the IRS office and see if this is legitimate. They just won't do that. They'll automatically do these things. And you're thinking, that's absurd. If anybody calls me and says I'm going to go to jail because I didn't show up for jury duty, you know, and asking me to send them money because to get out of this ticket, you know, many people be like, why would somebody do that? Well, the reason they do it is because they may call 100 people. One person may send them $500, and all they're doing is sitting around calling somebody on the phone. You know, that's a pretty good day if you get one person to send you $500 or whatever it may be, whatever the amount may be. Sweepstakes scams, you know, and it's one of those things, safeguard you. If it's too good to be true, it probably is. So if you're spending $500 or $1,000 to win $250,000, that's too good to be true, or we all would be doing it. So it's a scam, and we'll go over those in just a few minutes. There's a grandparent scam right there that you call, and they'll call and say, this is your grandson, and be like, you know, or they'll answer the phone and be like, you know who this is? And then we say, hey, is this, and you mention your grandchild's name, say, yeah, I'm in trouble, or I need this, that, and other, can you send me some money? You know, my grandparents would have known exactly who I was and would have been like, no, you're not getting any money. You're tough luck, you know, but you may not be able to tell over the phone or whatever, especially if they set you up by saying, do you know who this is? Or this is your grandson, do you know who this is? Or whatever, something like that, and then you say their name, be like, yeah, this is such and such.
That
Makes you
actually
believe it.
happened to one of the women that's usually here, but she's an EKU professor, she's
Yeah.
not here to happen. I mean, it didn't happen, but
Right.
her family was like propositioned that way.
Yeah.
Luckily, they
Yeah.
knew better, but
Well,
that thing happened. Yeah.
And the reason that they do this, and you would think, you know who your grandkids are, whatever, the reason they do this has worked on somebody. At some point, this has worked on somebody. That's why they continue to do these scams.
They're like, they've been in a wreck.
They've been in
and
a wreck,
they're
that's why.
injured,
Yeah.
And so they're not talking like,
Right.
they don't sound like
They don't sound like
themselves.
themselves, yeah,
And
or
just-
something like that.
It's
So,
very creative, you know.
they do.
Also,
There's,
if they are savvy with social media,
Social media, we're getting,
Facebook,
yeah,
and you
Yeah.
don't have a lot of your information hidden. They can see who your family members
Right.
are. They can
Right.
see where your family members have been.
and they'll send you an instant message through Facebook as well, requesting money for whatever reason. That's a common one. We get sent that one quite a bit. And, you know, unless, hopefully, nobody's out any money, but it's nice that we know this, that way we can present it on. If you look at the top of this first page, up at the top, it says Kentucky Office of the Attorney General. Every bit of this came from the Attorney General's website, who's big on scams. Shortly after I started, we started having the scam of the jury duty scam. And we met with the Attorney General and did a press conference about this to get the information out. Well, they started a text notification, and it's under this ag.ky.gov scams. And when you go onto the Attorney General's webpage, the first thing that pops up in the middle is to sign up for these scam alerts. And most all of us have smartphones now, but all you do is you go in there, you enter your number, maybe your carrier, whatever it is, and if there is a scam in our area, they will send you a text alert about it, so you can be mindful of it. I also, on our Facebook page, the sheriff's Facebook page, and the Madison County Sheriff's Office Facebook page, when I get those, I try to copy and paste those in there just to get them out through Facebook. So that's another way to get them. If you don't want to have this popping up on your cell phone, you can, if you do Facebook, I don't know if y'all do Facebook, you don't do Facebook, you do Facebook. So, do you do Facebook?
I
You do
do.
Facebook? Well,
My
the,
husband
yeah.
does, and that's where the thread is, because he just barely knows how to get on
Yeah.
Facebook.
Yeah, well, if you go to the Madison County Sheriff's Office, make sure you get Kentucky, and you're not like looking at Alabama or somewhere like that. Be like, this makes no sense. But make sure you're in Kentucky, you can like us, and those things will pop up on the page. And then you can also, you know, if y'all decide to do Facebook one of these days, you can friend Sheriff Cole. Now, if you send Sheriff Cole a message, Sheriff Cole's not gonna respond, it's gonna be me respond, because I'm the administrator of his Facebook page and the Sheriff's Office Facebook page, so. But if you do that, you're more than welcome to send us a message through Facebook if you have any. I don't monitor it 24/7, so it may be a couple days before I get back to you if you do send something. Of course, as always, if it's an emergency, call 911.
How
So,
many of these reports, or how many reports do you have to receive of the same fraud to put it out there is something to be wary of?
we try to, if I get one, if it's something that many of these right now, we've already sent out. We already know that they're out there, and we've sent them out on Facebook, and we might send them out occasionally when we get several of them. I don't want to say there's a specific number, but if we start getting, you know, at the time that this one with the deputy sheriff was coming in, we were getting 2 or 3 a day. And I was like, we're gonna have to do a news release. So we did a news release, did a Facebook post on it. And then shortly thereafter, the Attorney General's office called. And they really started up the scam alerts. You can report them on this. This sheet right here is actually a complaint form. Now, if you're out any money, a lot of people may not report a scam if they're out money, because they're a little embarrassed and ashamed that they've fallen for this scam. Now, locally, it is more difficult for us to charge somebody because a lot of these things are generated in other states, if not overseas. The one where, which I, like I said, when we go over these, I'll get to them. One in particular was the one that I said the deputy sheriff was calling about jury duty. That was coming from Georgia. But they were spoofing a line. You know what that is? You've heard of that? What that is you may see on your cell phone or your home phone number that it shows up 859-626 or 859-314 or 859-582, but it can be somewhere else. That's our area code, and that's a prefix for this area.
Our library's number was spoofed.
Yes.
And people were calling saying you owed
Right,
fines.
yeah. They can spoof these numbers and make it look like it's a local call, and they may be somewhere else. That's what they were doing. They were spoofing these numbers to make it look like local calls, so people were answering the phone. I do the same thing. If it's from Nebraska, I don't answer. Nobody can call me from Nebraska. I don't know anybody in Nebraska or New York or wherever it's come from. But if it's a 314 number, I'm answering because I don't know if it's my kids borrowed somebody's cell phone and they're calling me for some reason. So I answer. And next thing I know, hey, you've been chosen for this vacation package or something or another like that. So, and that's the way they're getting around it. They're spoofing these lines.
Is there any way, other than blocking that particular number, that you can get rid of these? Because I know my husband's been getting repeated ones, but they'll be like one digit off. And
Yeah,
it'll show
yeah.
up on his phone, it'll say scam, but I mean, they're driving him crazy, you're like.
Right, right. And I think you only have so many amount of numbers that you can block. Are you talking about a cell phone or a home phone?
He has a smartphone.
A smartphone? I don't know about a smartphone, but I know like on your home phone, I think if you did that, there's only so many amount that you're able to block. If you can sign up on the do not call list on your cell phone as well.
Yeah,
If it blocks, it may not block all of them, but you need to try to register it
that
again.
used to work, so
Yeah.
just re-register.
Yeah, just try to
for that.
register it again. It may tell you that it's already registered. It may, for whatever reason, help. But that's the best way, that's the best route to take, is just go back in the national do not call list and do it that way. That information is on the Kentucky Attorney General's website as well. But they spoof these numbers, make it look like it's a local call. And that's why people won't answer or think, even if they say it's something. But this one was coming out of Georgia. It was coming from a prison in Georgia. Yeah,
That's awesome.
no kidding.
He's an entrepreneur.
Yeah, it was coming from a prison in Georgia. You know, and then the IRS scam, I know they made some arrests down in Miami on it. A lot of these things are overseas somewhere that they're originating. Nigeria, yeah, Jamaica, you know, that's a lot of these are originating there. So that's a good thing about this sheet is, or going to the Attorney General's website. If you're too ashamed to call the sheriff's office or state police or Richmond police, Brewer police, whoever it might be, you can report it right here. And a lot of these go to the Attorney General's office anyway, just because they can do more outside of the United States and outside of the state of Kentucky than we can a lot of times. We like to know it naturally. I mean, you can report it to us for sure, and we'll go from there and get you pointed in the right direction of where you need to go. So, but some of the common scams. First one I'm talking about is the jury duty scam. When I first started, we started getting calls from, you know, various people that a guy was calling them saying that he was James Marshall was the name he was using, Deputy Marshall with the Madison County Sheriff's Office. Said they had missed jury duty and there was a warrant for them and they needed to take care of it. Well, first of all, we don't call people on the phone and tell them we're warrant for them. We don't do it. The only reason that I'd ever call somebody and tell them there's a warrant for it is if it's somebody that I knew just personally and I knew that they weren't gonna run and would come in and take care of it or whatever they had to do. Then I might call them. But outside of that, we're not gonna call you and tell you there's a warrant on you. So that was the first indicator. Well, this person called us, said this was going on. They had a phone number. So I called the phone number. And he said, Madison County Sheriff's Office. Or it may have said Madison County Sheriff, whatever it may be. I said, is this Deputy Marshall? Yes, it is. He said, you just called a friend of mine, told him I had a warrant on him. What's the name? I think I gave the name. And I said, yeah, I just want to see where we can take care of that. You know, where can we meet up with you and take care of that? And I think he hung up the phone. So I called back. He answered his phone at Madison County Sheriff's Office. Deputy James Marshall, yes. I said, this Deputy Stotts with the Madison County Sheriff's Office, and he hung up, and blocked the number and everything like that. So those are the ones that were coming out of, I can't say that particular one was coming out of Georgia, but I know some of those calls like that were coming out of Georgia. So, and it was just simply, you've got a warrant for you, the use of a threat, and they're using the sheriff's office to threaten somebody to basically make them feel threatened that they need to send this money in or they're going to jail. That's what they do. Same way with the next one, IRS. The IRS does not call you to tell you that you owe money. If you ever get a call from, they say that from the IRS, it's a scam, you call the IRS immediately and ask them and verify. Same way as before. If they say they're gonna send the sheriff's office, no, the IRS doesn't call us. You know, the IRS doesn't call the sheriff's office. They got their own law enforcement around there, they can help them, so. And they got other ways to get their money outside of calling the sheriff's office to go try to collect it for them or whatever. Same way, like the first one, if anybody calls like that, you call and let us know. That way we can get it out there. If you've got a number, try to save it. That way we can call back and go from there with that. But the IRS, they don't call you. You can see on this that it gives you the website and a 1-800 number that you can call if you're getting this. These top two are really, really common. The IRS, I think the IRS right now is the most common. When tax season rolls around or shortly thereafter, that one becomes busy. Grandparent scam, we kind of talked about that, you know, the different things that they do. And like I said, they would not use these if they haven't worked at some point. Government, grant scam, that's a little different, you know, it's, once again, how many times has the government called you and said you've been a good citizen, so they're gonna give you money? So, you know, somebody's thought this was okay, well, I've been a good citizen, they're gonna pay me back for it, so therefore I'm gonna send them some money to get some money. So that doesn't happen, and we all know it doesn't happen, but somebody has sent them money at some point for they to get doing this. Payday lender, don't know a lot about that one. You know, and once again, it's using, we haven't really experienced that one around here, the payday lender. And it's the same thing, it's, you owe an unpaid debt. So if you don't pay it, we're gonna have you arrested. And once again, it's just the use of threats to try to get money. Computer scam, and this would be a lot, especially when it comes to seniors, about these computer scams. And I've seen them on my computer. I mean, it's popped up here lately that says Microsoft virus and that kind of stuff. Be careful of that. Be careful of that, because you may go through the process and it may ask for credit cards. And it may be a scam. Or they may call you on a phone, which is another one. Is that one, okay?
Call my mom's house.
Calls your mom's house and says they need access to your computer. They can get in your computer, and once in your computer, they get all your personal information. If you've used it to pay any bills, you got any passwords saved, anything like that, have access to that. Or they may ask for a credit card, so they can get in your computer and fix it. Microsoft does not do that. They do not call you and tell you got a, Microsoft doesn't know if you have a virus on your computer. So they're not going to call you and tell you that. But once again, somebody has given them a credit card number or whatever, and they've got money off of it. So yeah, that does not happen. Microsoft does not call you until you have, or whoever you have. I think basically everybody has Microsoft probably, but yeah, they do not do that. Sweepstakes and lottery scams. And part of that one, if you look down in there, I forgot about the computer scam. They also threaten to lock your computer up if you don't give them money and to hold it ransom. So don't give them access. Don't give them access to your computer or anything. So I forgot that part of it. Sweepstakes and lottery scams really crack me up. So because I had one in particular, and a guy calls me and says, hey, we just had a guy call and say that I had won a new car and like $250,000. I said, that's fantastic. He said, yeah, I had to send him like $2,500. And I was like, okay. He said, it was funny. He said, I'll meet with you down in Paint Lick and to give you of all places to meet to win, you know, to pick up prizes, pick Paint Lick. And that guy said, he said, you at Paint Lick now? And he said, yeah, I'm at Paint Lick now. He said, something like, I'll meet you at the McDonald's down at Paint Lick. And the guy said, okay, right, I'm right across the road from, or something like that. I'm right across the road from McDonald's and Paint Lick. You know, Paint Lick just has a bridge. Basically, that's Paint Lick. You cross the bridge and that's Paint Lick. I mean, I don't know if anything else is down there. So, but obviously, you know, this guy said, I'll meet you at the McDonald's. He's like, yeah, I'm just right across the road from McDonald's down here in Paint Lick. What it was is, once again, as I said earlier, if it's too good to be true, it probably is. If somebody's calling you saying you've won this, that, and other, but you have to pay money to get that, then it's a scam. They use Publishers Clearinghouse. Publishers Clearinghouse does not ask for money up front to win that money. Now, they may take taxes out of it or whatever it is once you win the money, but they do not take money up front.
They better show up with balloons.
Yes, exactly like that. They better come to my door with a huge check and with a bunch of balloons on it. So,
See,
you know,
that's where though they get people who are believing or needing, I don't know, whatever, that they say, oh no, you don't have to pay anything, you don't pay anything, but everybody knows you have to pay interstate taxes.
yeah, you have to pay the taxes.
So that's
Yeah,
where they get you.
yeah. You do have to
I
pay
know
the taxes
someone,
on it,
that's
for
how they
sure.
got it.
You know, it's
You
same
have
with the
to
lottery.
pay interstate taxes, send me $58 now for the interstate taxes.
Yeah, yeah, and that's it. That's a scam. If you pay it up front like that,
Mhm.
it's a scam. Now, if you win something, it'll be taken out of that money.
Yeah, like
It'll be
the
taken out of that
lottery.
money you
Yeah.
win, but you do not have to pay that money
Right.
to get that money. If they say that, that's a good point. If they say that, then it's a scam.
Yeah, but then you realize Uncle Sam's gonna get theirs first before anybody.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm
They're gonna
saying.
get it out of the winnings.
Yeah, they're gonna
not
get it out of the
the
winnings. You
yeah.
don't have to pay it, you know, you don't have to pay it and then get your winnings. They're gonna take that out of your winnings,
Right.
you know. You know, they're gonna, you know, you win $1,000, they're gonna take 40% of it.
Yeah.
And then you only get X amount of dollars. And I would tell you, because it's probably quick math, but I don't feel like doing it right now. So, yeah, fake employment scams, these jobs, and you may have seen these things on street signs, where it'll give a phone number, work at home. Work at home. A lot of those are scams. You'll see them in the newspapers, you know, where you can work at home and make $1,000 a week or something along that lines. A lot of times you'll go do that and they'll ask for money for you to work. And basically that's a scam as well. You know, if you pay up front to get a job from them, then you're probably not gonna have a job, you're not gonna see any money from them, because all you've done is pay them off. So, that kind of stuff, and you can read these card member services, it's robocall, yeah, that's like reducing your interest rates and stuff like that. You can read those. You know, these scams on here, those are some of the major ones that we've seen in the state of Kentucky. That's not all of them out there throughout the United States, but that's some of the most common ones we see in the state of Kentucky. And down at the bottom, if you see that where it talks about being a mule, if you're asked to receive money, cash a check, wire that to another person, don't do that. And I've actually seen one of those. I've heard of those be like, hey, we'll send you a check, you go cash it, and then you go wire this money. You keep X amount of dollars for yourself, and then you wire the rest of it here. So don't get caught up in that. So some of the things you can safeguard yourself is understand these. Understand that the sheriff's office doesn't call you to tell you that you have a warrant on you for missing jury duty. The IRS, as I've said, I keep repeating these things, but the IRS does not call you and tell you these things. If it's too good to be true, then it probably is. If anybody asks you for any credit card information over the phone, there's legitimate charities out there that call. And the disabled veterans called me last week asking for my credit card. That's a legitimate charity. but simply I tell them, I'm not giving you my credit card over the phone. You send me your literature,
That's right.
and I will send you something. And that way, from that point, I can research it. I can get online and research it. Take your time, slow down, don't make any hasty decisions. Get a callback number and a name, and you call them back. If you have any questions, you can get on the website, you can call us, anything like that if you have any questions about being a scam. You have computers, get on there and research what's calling you, and it may pop up, it's a scam first thing. Then you may see some pretty good information, you'd be like, okay. But make them send you something as opposed to you give them a credit card over the phone. So don't do that.
So I told my mom to do, because she wants to, donate, and I say, Mom, that's fine,
Yeah,
but never give your credit. If you
Right.
call a company to order something, you can give your credit card.
absolutely,
But if
absolutely.
anybody calls you and needs your credit card number, no, have them send you something in the mail, and then just write a check and mail it.
There's one that I keep hearing, I haven't experienced that much, where somebody will call and say, is this such and such? And you answer yes. And what they're doing is you're trying to record your yes.
Yeah.
Have y'all heard that?
Mm-hmm.
Have y'all heard that? I haven't, others have told me about this, I haven't really experienced it around here. So I catch myself like when I answer the phone. If it's a telemarketer and I've answered the phone because they have a 314 or whatever number, and I can tell it is, and they start asking me questions, I'm like, I answer it like crazy, like.
Just say, who wants to know?
Yeah, say that, is this such and such, but like, speaking, or, who are you needing, or just something, and question them back to find out. Ask questions. If they're legitimate, they'll answer your questions. Ask questions. Some of these people are really convincing. They are really convincing and make you sound, because you know good and well, you can get online and find out anything you want to know about anybody. And so they may have your information before you can call, so they sound pretty legitimate. But if you have any questions whatsoever, just slow down. Don't be in a hurry. Because if they're legit, they're wanting something from you, they should have to wait on you instead of you. And some of them are pushy, some are bossy. Kind of off these telephone things, most of these are telephone computer scams. There's also door-to-door people. A lot of them are legitimate business people, just looking to make a living, but you gotta be careful and not to pay anything up front. If they want to provide a service, get a contract, a bill, or whatever from them, let them do the job, and then you pay them. Because sometimes you will pay them half, they'll say, we'll be back tomorrow, and you may never see them again. They may do the job and about halfway do it as well. I had a gentleman out in Brassfield many, many years ago. These guys said had extra asphalt, and they wanted to blacktop his driveway. They blacktopped his driveway, and his driveway went from here to that wall right there. But it was like a roller coaster down through there. There were so many humps and bumps in that thing, it would beat you to death before you got to the end of the driveway. They did a job, but they just didn't do it good. They didn't roll it out and make it smooth. Is that a scam? Yes and no. They provided a service, but they didn't do it. Yeah, they didn't do it to the way it should have been done. So if you have somebody wanting to do some home improvements for you, question them, look around, ask people, whatever. Most of us, if we get home improvements done, we're calling somebody we know anyway that we trust. So anyway, that would be my advice on that. I don't know if y'all heard anything about these salesmen, these Kirby salesmen. Y'all said y'all didn't have Facebook, so you may not have seen it, or it was on the news as well. These guys are legitimate salesmen, they're just really pushy. If they come to your home and they're wanting to sell you a vacuum cleaner, you stop them at the door and tell them no. What they're doing is they're coming to the door, knocking on the door, and they're trying to make their way into your house. Once they're in, it's easier for them to sell product in your house because they can do their salesman stuff. Standing at the door, it's hard to do that. So they want to get in your house and they want to demonstrate this product and show you how great it is. And it takes them forever to leave because they want to show you everything that it involves. If you want a Kirby vacuum that bad, let them in. If you don't, stop them at the door, tell them no, and just shut the door. So a lot of us are way too nice to do that, but that's what you have to do because they're being pushy. So we had many complaints over that over the last 2 weeks, so just keep that in mind. It's not necessarily a scam, but it's just to safeguard yourself, that way you don't have to go through the hassle. So, that's about it. I mean, what questions do y'all have?
I'm just wondering, we have had of late, just an onslaught of over and over and over, these calls about your warranty has expired on your vehicle. Over and over, and you say no, no,
Yeah.
no, no, it's just, you feel like you just can't get rid of them at all.
Yeah, are you on the do not call list?
No, but we will be.
Sign up on the do not call list. Also, and that applies to a cell phone as well. And that's what I was telling you, that applies to a cell phone as well, that's what it is. There's a landline, and is the number on there?
It is.
Okay, I thought it was on there,
Yeah,
yeah,
it
it's on that
is.
back page.
I just-
And it tells you about spoofing, call blocking, identity theft. Identity theft, you know, they can get online and get information, but if you give them any information whatsoever over the phone, I mean, they've got you right there. I mean, they have access to, you know, they can get credit cards in your name and everything else at that point. You know, and that's stuff that can be fixed, but it takes a while and it's a huge headache to do. But if you've been a victim of any of these things, don't be embarrassed to come down and tell us or give us a call, and we'll send a deputy out if you've been a victim of identity theft or any of this stuff. So don't be embarrassed by it. I had a number, this is like a billions of dollar a year industry for these people doing these scams. So that's why they do them. Because, you know, we're losing, you know, billions of dollars a year to these people right here, and all they're doing is sitting back calling us on the phone and trying to scare us and trick us. So, but if you've been a victim of it, you know, make sure you let us know. Can't promise you getting money back, but at least we'll you know, get the information out there and try to stop it. You know, maybe save somebody else from being a victim.
Also,
Any other questions?
anybody that knocks on your door, that even if they just want to come in and pray with you,
Yeah,
as soon as you let them in your house, you're inviting them to take in a lot of information about you that can be told to someone else to come back.
absolutely.
When you're not at home, or maybe when you are at home, so just be, I
Yeah,
hate to say, you know, be wary of every single person, but
right.
you never know. You never know.
And I do I've done like some home security things about making your home safer. And one of the big things that I'm a big proponent of, and I don't know if it's because I'm, you know, have been in law enforcement for 20 some odd years now, but I call it neighborly. Watch after your neighbors. You may not like them, but watch after them. I always
It's your
paid
best
attention.
asset.
Yeah, absolutely. You know them, get to me, you know, if you don't know them, and probably y'all are in neighborhoods wherever, and y'all have probably been there for a while. You're established, you probably know everybody. But just watch out. I knew what my neighbors drove. I kind of knew their schedules. It makes me sound like a stalker or something, but, you know, but I knew their schedules. I knew when they kind of came in and out, and you know, the vehicles they drove and different things like that. So if they had an odd vehicle in at their driveway, I'd call them and be like, hey, this car's in your driveway. Well, that's my sister, or something like that. Or if the garage door was left up, I would call and say, hey, your garage door's up. I just ran down to the store. I knew y'all were home, ran to the store to get some gas for the lawnmower. I'm coming right back. Okay. Or my neighbor said, dude, I didn't realize it. You mind to put it down for me? So, you know, he put it down for him. I went out the side door, locked it back, and shut it. And that's just, you know, paying attention and you know, just looking out for your neighbors.
And if anything happens, go straight to the busybodies.
Oh, yeah. They'll
What
know
did you
everything.
see?
They'll know everything. I was one of those, I guess, so they'll know everything.
You want to be friends
So,
with the busybodies.
So, but that, you know, and if you live in the neighborhood, we can help you with neighborhood watch associations and that kind of stuff. So you can give us a call about that as well. We'll tell you how to go through those steps. But yeah, that's kind of a couple different topics. One of them's really quick, the other one's a little bit. But if you have any questions, you can call us. There's a lot of information on these sheets that I gave you, and a lot of information on the Kentucky Attorney General's website. And you can actually research these things and go to the IRS, and they have a big page about this scam and some of these other ones. As I research these are the main ones because it's on the Attorney General's website, but there's so many more that I didn't even bring. You could sit around talking about them for a couple hours because there's so many. So, any other questions? Outside of this, any questions from the sheriff about the sheriff's office or anything we can help you with?